What's up, DG Army? Welcome back to dungeongurunet nethervoid, also known as John, doing another strategy series for you this week. I've done this for 6 or more months now, I'm not even sure. 60-something videos. Anyway, this week is going to be the S35CA Tier 5 French tank destroyer. And this thing came out, I'm pretty sure, in patch 7.4, which is now a couple of patches ago. Pretty awesome TD. It's right after the French, I can't even remember what it's called. Somua, that's it. And I gave that thing, the Somua, a pretty bad review. It's a pretty bad tank. Real slow, no armor, no gun. This tank, on the other hand, is a very good tank destroyer. It's kind of slow, and it doesn't really have much armor, if you could see on these stats over here. But the gun is ridiculous. It's got great pen and great damage, and that's really the one thing that kind of like, well, there's a couple things I like about this tank, but that's really the big one is the gun. For a tier 5, it's definitely a good tank destroyer. It's actually, I think it's a lot easier to play and much better tank than the Jagdpanzer IV. So it's better than a tier 6 as far as I'm concerned, because the gun's so good. So the way you're going to play this tank, since it is so slow and it does not turn very fast, is you're definitely going to have to be a sniper with this thing. Get behind a wall a little bit, like if you have a wall over here and you got your gun poking out, because it does have awesome gun traverse from side to side. Like left, I think it's about like this, but right, it's got a really far gun traverse. You can actually like sit around corners like this and snipe people. So that's pretty much how I'd play this tank, and you can see that's because the gun is on the right side of the tank, so it's got a lot of room to swing over like that. You definitely do not want to get spotted or be in the front, because you will get killed in like 3 seconds, because this thing only has 330 hit points. You can one-shot yourself if you're the other guy in this tank. You can one-shot yourself. That's how low a damage or low of a hit points you have. So you just do not want to get seen or hit. Let other people push up and try to snipe on the targets they're shooting at, and you will last a long time. You can also flank with this thing. Just remember, stay hidden. Shoot and then back up and get out of there. Stay hidden. Do not be seen. Do not be out in the open and be spotted. Other than that, you can pretty much wreck whole teams if you know how to do that on certain maps. You really kind of need to know where on the map to be with this tank. You can hide behind trees. If you get a shot off and you're not behind a building, you probably need to back up to another area to fall off the enemy's radar and then pull back up. Unless you know you're way off their radar, then you'll be fine. But in general, by the time I'm getting a shot on somebody, my shot is probably showing them where I am. So again, just remember that once you're spotted, you need to get out of there. That's pretty much how you play this tank. Let's get into some stats here. 330 hit points, like I was saying, pretty low. The power to weight ratio, not very good, a little bit over 10. It's really not that great. Maybe, I think it's 12 or something like that. 13 actually. 12. So it's not very good. The acceleration is pretty poor. Again, that's like I'm saying, it's pretty much a sniper tank, and it's really slow, and you need to really watch out where you're at on the map, because you're not going to be able to relocate very well. You're definitely not going to be able to get out of harm's way. You need to be thinking way ahead of time about that. 37 speed limit, not really. I guess sometimes you get up to like 30s and stuff, but it's pretty, I don't feel like I did that. We'll have to watch the gameplay. 28 degrees per second on the track traverse, not that great. Well, gun traverse doesn't matter. So 28, you're going to get circled really easily, obviously. In a TD, if someone gets close, they're going to get it right on the side of your tracks and box you in. So you can't let anybody get close, and with 28 traverse speed, it really makes it easy to get circled. Again, no armor to speak of. 56 in the front, 35 on the sides. Anybody's going to be able to pen that. That's tier 5 or tier 6 or 7. Tier 4s, probably in the front, definitely on the sides. This is a very weak armored tank, which you should expect from Frenchies by this time. The rate of fire is pretty low, but it does have a huge gun with huge damage, and I'll talk about that in a minute. 400 view range is really good, especially for a tier 5. You're going to see way out there. That's why you can sit way back and snipe. And you can see I got a camo net on this thing. And you can sit way, way, way back and still spot people. So definitely do that. 455 signal range on the radio. Let's make sure I have the upgrade. Yes, I do. It's not very far, so you might lose contact with some people that are on the other opposite corners of the map. That's just kind of the way it is. You're playing a low-tier tank, and the radios were not that good at this point in the war, so deal with it, I guess. Modules. Yes, you should have this upgraded radio, so you should be fine with that. Just throw it on right away. It gets you at least a 455. You're going to have a couple of problems toward the end of matches, but other than that, not a huge deal, I guess. You will need, I think, the upgraded suspension for this gun. Let's just check. Well, first let's take the camo net off. I can do that since it does not cost gold. And yes, the modules are still too heavy, which means the gun. If we go down to this lower gun, you can see that you can use it with the low. So you're going to need the upgraded tracks to get the gun. Other than that, you get a 2 degrees per second upgrade to tracks. That's pretty normal for traverse speed, and that's pretty normal for most tracks. The engine, you will have the engine, so you will throw the top engine up the first thing, and that's going to 260 at 220. It would just really feel sluggish. So this 260 helps a lot. Again, you're going to have that from the very beginning, so just throw it on right away. No turret, and let's talk about guns. You're going to start out with that 17 pounder because you will not have this big gun. So the 17 pounder is still pretty good at 144 pen, 135 damage, and nice rounds per minute. The 144 pen should see you through most situations in a tier 5, but what I really like is this 105 millimeter. It's really awesome for a tier 5. 165 pen, which is really amazing for tier 5, 300 damage. The rounds per minute is pretty low. It's like a lot like a heavy, but that's okay. Now, if you're looking to go up to this 90 mil, it does shoot faster, but look, you're losing 30 pen, and I just don't think that's a good idea when you're going up against tier 7s. 165 should reliably pen any tank up to tier 7 in the front if you pick out the weak spots. And I don't know, it's probably more DPS this way, but I really like the 105 better because I pretty much know I'm going to hit every time, and I don't have to worry about hitting the weak spot because the aim time on this gun is kind of slow, and so this way you don't have to worry as much about your shell drifting off. Now this gun, the aim time is about the same for this gun. Actually, the aim time is faster, I think, on the 105. Oh no, it's a little bit slower. So the 90 still has a pretty slow aim time, so again, you're not going to be able to depend on hitting the weak spot you're aiming at. And I think the accuracy is really bad in the 90, and it's actually not as bad in the 105. Oh, it's a little bit worse. So with that kind of accuracy, just get the gun with the bigger pen. That way, if you don't hit the weak spot, you still will have a really good chance of penetrating. So that's the modules. Let's get in some research. So here's a S35's research tree, and there's not a lot to research, as you're going to see right here. You're going to have this engine unlocked, and you're going to have both these radios unlocked. So right away you can throw this equipment on. You'll just have these two guns and the tracks, and again, you cannot get the big gun without the tracks, so you're going to have to go for the tracks first. So unlock that first, and then I went straight for the 105 because it's the best gun I think that this thing has. I did unlock the 90 mil just because I like to unlock the whole thing before I move on. After you unlock that gun, just go straight for the V39. It's really an easy tech tree. You don't even really need this section to tell you what to do. Just that you do need the tracks to get the gun, so that's one good thing to know. Get that first. Anyway, let's get back to my garage. Alright, back from research, let's talk about modules, and I don't really get any except the camo net. When I start a new TD line, I try to buy a camo net for the TD. I usually get these when equipment's half off. It comes about twice a year. And in that case, you can get these camo nets for 50,000 a piece, so I just buy like, if I'm getting low on them, I'll buy like 6 or 7 of them. They're really good for throwing them on early level tanks, really small tier tanks like this, especially TDs. Just throw one on right when you get this thing and just let it ride all the way up to the top. Now, if I was to get other two pieces here, I would definitely get, well, this is an open cab, so it doesn't get the vents. But later on in your career, on TDs, you're going to get vents on your TD. Probably, I think it's tier 6. I think has a covered cabin. So you're going to get the vent on that tier 6, and on this thing, you're going to get the rammer, which there it is. And I think you'll be able to use this all the way up to like, I'm not positive. I haven't looked this far up the line. But you should be able to use it probably up to like tier 7, where you're going to need a large caliber rammer. So this won't go all the way up the tier. And if you don't feel like rebuying equipment, I just wouldn't buy equipment. Just buy stuff that you can take off without gold. Like Binocs would be a good idea for this tank since it is a snipe tank. That'll give you a little bit extra view range up to the 445 max for spotting, or 455 max for spotting. But also, remember, the max being 455 doesn't really matter too much because when other tanks get bonuses for being behind bushes, the Binocs do help you even see those guys. So theoretically, basically what they do is reduce the chance to be seen, and so what it'll say is you can only see me at, say, 300 view range. Well, if you have the Binocs, it pushes that 300 again up further than it normally would. The max here, you'd probably get up to 360 or 370. So it really helps for finding guys hiding behind bushes. The toolbox would be another great choice here because you don't have a 100% crew and a crew that is not training repairs yet. And this will help you repair tracks in case somebody gets a lucky track shot on you. And maybe you can get out of that situation and shoot them in the tracks or blow them away with your big gun before they can get to you. And you will commonly one-shot guys that are a tier lower than you or even the same tier. You're going to see a battle I have where I'm one-shotting guys with this 105. It's really awesome. And it's not a derp gun. It reloads a lot faster than a normal quote-unquote derp, and it's not HE. I'm using AP in it. It's just an awesome gun. You'll see in the videos. So that's equipment. Let's go into some consumables. On tier 5 and 6, I get small repair kit. Tier 7 and above, I get a full rack of fire extinguisher, small repair kit, small heal kit. But on 5 and 6, it's just a small repair kit. I usually use that for ammo rack or the gun. Those are two great ones, especially for TDs. Or also tracks in case I'm in a situation where I must turn and I cannot just sit there. I'll put it on. I'll repair my tracks. Now for ammo, I always use 4 HE in all my guns, and then the rest AP. That's how I've been doing it. I never use this HE. It's just for random occasions where I might need to. I don't know. I just think HE's almost useless anymore. Crew, it should look about like this. I still have a lot to unlock on this tank, and that's because the 90 mil and the 105 they take a long time to unlock. So, and then there's 20,000 left over to get this V39. So your crew is probably going to almost reach 100% before you're done, ready to train over to the tier 6. Now, if you have money coming out your ears, you might as well wait till this thing's 100%, move it over, and then bump it up to 90% with credits, because this is a pretty small crew, so it's not a big deal to spend that much. But it is kind of a low tier, so if you can't afford it, don't do it. So that's the crew, that's this tank. Let's get into some games. In this game, I'm on Westfield, which is a really awesome map. I really love it. When you start out on the hill like this, let me just tell you right off the bat, your team kind of needs to split up between the city that I'm poking at here and the hills that you're seeing them go to, which is C1. The reason this is that you don't know where the enemy is going to come out, and if you split up your forces, there's usually, and this is in random battles, of course, not clan wars. Usually, the team will put all their guys kind of on one side because they're noobs, and your other part of your team can flank around the backside of the enemy, and you guys can sandwich them, and it's an easy victory in the top. Most teams don't do this. You can see I'm clicking the map and saying, "Hey, let's head to the city a little bit," And Snoop Dogg over here is saying, "No, let's all go the same exact direction," and no, you shouldn't do that. So you're going to see that we have good intentions here, but we'll see how this team works. Now, we got lots of guys back at A3 kind of sniping, and so the guys at C should probably not be pushing forward. They should wait till they pull up, or at least spot them and let Artie do some damage. So what's this, a KV-1S? Boom! Take that in the face. 286 damage. He's almost dead now. Don't sit out in the open like this. This is really not a good idea. He's waiting for... You don't want to sit out in the open when your gun's reloading. Hide behind something when your gun's reloading, especially with the KV-1S, because that gun has a super, super long reload. We're looking pretty good so far. But, it's anybody's game. It's only 1-1 right now. I'm just kind of trying to snipe from this bush, and this is not the greatest spot on this map, because if I get spotted, Artie's going to shoot me, because I've got nowhere to hide. Or a tank will shoot me if I have nowhere to hide, and they're kind of closing in on me. And this tank is not fast; it cannot get away. So it looks like they've killed the heavies we had over there in the north, which is not good. It probably means those guys don't know how to play their tanks, which that's pretty common in a tier 5-6 game. You don't spend enough time in these tanks to really learn how to play them. So again, it's still an even game. This is an E8, I believe. Yes. And I just paused it for no reason. Let's get this thing back up to speed. Whoa, 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 whoa! As my dad would say. My dad used to do that to me. I'd be sleeping in the car with him while we were working or something, doing... I used to do landscape maintenance when I was going through college. And I'd fall asleep because we were driving between two different cities. And he'd wait till I was asleep, and then he would go, "Whoa, whoa!" And he'd put his arm in front of me like we're going to get in a wreck, and I'd freak out, and he'd just laugh at me like a jerk. Anyway, a little bit of story time with Nether. So here's the E8 getting juiced by this KV-1S. He'll eat the KV-1S any day. There we go. Help him out a little bit with my 257 damage. That's because the KV-1S probably has... Oh, he has the small gun. Okay, well that was good. Helped him out there, but we lost big time in the north. And on lines 8, 9, and 10, we just got smoked. We just got smoked right there. And he just got smoked. Hetzer's a good tank. I need to do that one soon. In fact, I need to purchase that so I can do a video on it. So, not doing too hot. We got crushed in the north. At least we still have a few people there. I know there's some people coming up right here. But I really need to turn around and shoot the guys in the north because I can at least see them and help out my team. So we're getting capped. This is pretty much over. I've had a good game though. But you know what? Just gonna have to take my chances. What do we got? KV-1S and M18. So let's get the guy that's tracked. This should really hurt him. I might be able to one-shot him. Well, one shot to kill him. Boom! See what you can do with this thing? This gun's amazing. This is the 105. Here's the M18. These are both one tier above me. This guy's at 340. Bam! You're just about dead, but now see one shot. Or maybe that's two, and I'm almost dead here. Luckily, he misses me. Aiming. See the aiming speed on this thing's huge. Bam! You're dead. So, oh, ELC, I'm dead. So anyway, you can do really well with this tank. You just have to have a good team like a lot of other tanks that rely on support. This thing's pretty amazing. Let's get another game. So, again, another fun map. South Coast. This one came out, I think, in 7.3 when the new Russians came out. And I'm going to speed it up here because I just sit here for a little while and wait to see where my teammates go. So let's do 4 times, actually. You're going to see what this thing can do when it's top tier, because I have a ridiculous game here. I have great positioning. Let's go a little bit faster. Okay. There we go. So I'm going to come up on this side and support this side, because we got nobody went this way. So I'm going to try to hold these people off. Got an M7. Pretty much almost dead. Killing the Su-85 who pushed up too far. Now this is a great choke point for this map. So I'm going to sit here and camp this spot and not let anybody through, and see if I can let the rest of my team do some damage over on the sides they chose. Again, not really good to not have anybody go this way on your team. There's kind of 3 lanes to this map if you're from the north, spawning in the north. They did not cover this side at all. So here we go, M7. Boom, baby! Easy target right there. M8A1, great little TD. But it's only got 265 hit points, so I'm going to one-shot it, probably. Here we go, M3 Lee. That's actually a pretty good tank. Boom! You're lucky you're not dead. A20, piece of junk. That thing's horrible. I also need to do a video on that. But it's a pretty bad tank. Now, they're not spotting me, I don't think, because they're not shooting at me. Bam! So I've pretty much, besides the M8A1, neutered this side of the team here. They're so low that I can barely, I'll probably bump up against them, they'll die. Well, the M3 Lee, the other guy not so much. Again, I'm not pushing. I'm letting my team do their work. Letting them, there we go. A20 trying to make a run for it, popped. So I'm giving them time to kind of crush. Looks like a 9-0 is doing great. Line 9-0. Giving them some time to get to cap. Just took out another heavy down there on the middle of the map. That's great. Again, I know you don't want to have patience, but just have some patience. See my, I shouldn't be moving, but I'm really trying to catch. I knew there's a guy coming up right there. I'm trying to catch him. I'm trying to spot him. Not having any luck. Oh, there he is. PZ3, tier 4 medium. It's a great little tank. Let's see what I can do to it, though. 210 hit points. Boom! One shot in your face. Haha, that was awesome. M3 Lee trying to sneak. So I'm thinking at this point, look, we got these guys pretty much. They got nobody over here now. Let's just do something about this. Feeling pretty crazy at this point. These guys are not going to push now. Everybody who has is dead. He's trying to reposition, catch him repositioning. Bam! M8A1, right here he could circle me and take me out, probably. Because he has a turning turret. If he just popped out and got on my side, I'd pretty much be dead. But he waits instead until this happens. Boom! One shot. He should have popped out right after I shot. Maybe he doesn't know about this tank. 5 kills so far. We're up big time. 4 tanks up. The 890 guys are finally at the base. Taking care of business. And, see, there's... oh, he's dead. M3 Lee is dead. So now we're capping. This thing's pretty much over. I'm just kind of trying to look for a top gun here. Maybe I can find another guy sleeping or something. There's another guy right there. There's 2 guys almost dead. Nope, no shot from here. Keep moving. Really wanted to get one more kill just to get the Top Gun medal. Not that it really matters, but it's nice to get medals. It's fun, you know, just rack them up. And that's really all because of this gun. If the gun was not as big as it is, I would not have had that same success. So, awesome game. Over 1,500 XP on this game. Nice credits. Killed 5. Let's look at the medals here. Did not get a medal. Would have got Top Gun if I killed one more guy. Killed 5 guys. Basically took on that whole side of the map, that whole lane. Detected 2 guys. Nice game. 7 out of 7. And received only 1 hit. Very good game. That's exactly how you play this tank. And let me know what you guys think about this tank. I really can't wait to get the tier 6 because I know it's a lot better than this one. I played it on test. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'll see you later, guys.